Welcome to the dodging and burning. Okay, so for dodging and burning there are many different kind of techniques. I will show you one that I use the most. I do not use the standard dodging and burning tools, okay? Instead of that, I'm gonna use a soft light layer and a brush with white and black foreground color. But I'm gonna show you. So, go and create a soft light layer. So create a new layer and change its blending mode from normal to soft light. Hit B to choose your brush tool. Make sure white is your foreground color. Make your background color black. Okay. Hardness is 0%. And now really important, your saturation should be around about 7%. Okay. Now zoom into 100% by hitting Command 1. And now before we start dodging and burning, since we can't see what we're doing, we're going to create another help layer. Choose your black and white layer. And now really darken down the red. You can overdrive this a little bit, it's fine. Also bring the yellows down a little bit. Okay. If you want to further enhance this, you could try to bring in some more contrast. So go and create another levels layer. Darken this down a little bit. Lightening the highlights up a little bit, so like this. And you could play here in the middle. But I think that's just fine. Okay. Now put those two layers into another group. You can put the levels adjustment that we've just used for the high frequency layer. You can put this into the group as well. We don't need it right at the moment, so just deactivate it and put it into the group. Okay. Now you can activate and deactivate the group. What we want to achieve with dodging and burning right now is to lighten up the dark parts of her skin and darkening down the parts that are too light, okay, that are that have too much white in it. Therefore, we go back to our pixel layer and rename it to dodging and burning face. Okay. Now zoom closer in and try, if you like, the power, so the opacity of your brush. Simply go over the light areas, over the dark areas, sorry, and remove them. Don't forget that where you find light and shadows, don't forget you always will find both. If you have a light area that you're gonna darken down, then you will also have a shadow area that you have to light up, and the opposite, okay? So, don't forget this. Now that I've lit up some areas here, I hit X to change foreground and background color, and now I'm gonna darken down the lighter areas. Sometimes it happens that you darken down areas you do not want to darken down, but that's not a problem, you can light them up later. Again. Okay. Go closer in. Hit X. And correct the errors you've just made. If you made one. If you didn't, that's great. But I made one. Okay. So this is quite a lot of work, okay? You can watch me doing this for the next few minutes, but then I will speed the process up so you don't have to watch me doing this all over her face and the rest of her body. Really walk you through the image, step by step. It's a really time-consuming process, but it's worth it, believe me. It's really good. It'll really enhance the look of your image. So normally a retouch like this takes me over, well, I would say at a minimum of 2 to 3 hours is a realistic thing. Okay. So lighten up your dark parts here and darken down the light parts. You can vary in the size of the brush, and if you feel that the effect isn't strong enough, you can raise the opacity up a little bit. So use a higher opacity, but I like it like this, so I can make it step by step. I'm a big fan of doing things step by step. And if you feel that you don't see any progress, or that you think this leads you into nothing, simply deactivate and reactivate the layer, and you will see how much you already enhanced this little part of the picture. It looks much more smooth, much more, yeah. The transitions are just beautiful, okay? So believe me, it's worth it. Just take your time doing this. It's not a competition of speed, it's like, just do your work. Okay. And remember, you have to zoom in and out sometimes in between, because sometimes you forget about areas that you don't see because you're too close, and the opposite, okay? So it's like zooming out, zooming in. Simply do that. Some people also call this process pixel level editing, and it's a quite good name. So sometimes you have to really go into the single pixels and make them beautiful. It's like painting with light. You can do lots of great things with dodging and burning. It's not just about correcting skin. You can do just so many great things. There will be a separate training about this, because it's a topic for itself. It's not a big topic, but there's not the space in this training for this topic. Okay, sometimes you just lose your track and then just activate and reactivate. You know, deactivating and reactivating helps you to see what you've just done. And so on and so forth. Okay, I'm now going to show you how I repair the stomach, the belly, with dodging and burning. And then I will continue repairing the face, but you don't have to watch me all the time during I repair the face, because I think you got the point. Okay, now, oops. Now go into the group. go into the black and white layer and make it a little bit lighter. So you want to see what's going on the belly here. Okay. And you do basically the same. Okay. Now go to your Dodge and Burn face layer, create a new layer. Change it from normal to soft light again. Soft light, wonderful. And call it Dodge and Burn body. Cool. Now you could enlarge your brush if you want, but for me the size is fine. And now start darkening down the areas that are too light here. And lightening up the areas that are too dark. So I think I just made something wrong, so let's go back a few steps. That's fine. Reduce the opacity down to 3%. Sometimes you have to build it up layer for layer, okay? It's normal. And if you do something wrong, simply use your eraser tool and start from the beginning. It's all a training process, it's fine. Have a look at the before and after. And you see, I repaired it quite a lot. And you will do basically the same for the arms. So let's zoom out a little bit. And I showed you this area in the beginning when we checked up the image. Go to your black and white layer again, make it a little bit darker. And do the same here, okay? Really roughly, so you don't need to make a science out of it, but here in this case only, okay? Just go over it. Like this, it's fine. Maybe a little bit more here. That's great. Okay. Cool. Now darkening down the highlights a little bit more here. So, just to make it equal. So how far you go with this dodging and burning and how precise your work always depends a little bit on what you want to do with the image at the end, okay? For example, if you show the image to people in the net, like in this size, you don't need to be too precise on the arms and things like that. But if you want to make a large format print, really take your time, okay? Or if you show it in full resolution to anybody, then really take your time, it's worth it. There you see the rest of the hair. This can happen sometimes. Just remove it. Cool. And so on and so forth. So I will continue doing dodging and burning all over the face, all over the different areas. I will speed this dramatically up, but yeah, you can watch it. So the next video is just a speed up video of me doing more dodging and burning to the image. And if you do not want me to watch doing more dodging and burning to the image, just choose the video after the next one. there we will continue.